Good evening, viewers. Coming in from Shillong studio of Dudarshan Meghalaya, we bring to you today's news bulletin. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the headlines. National People's Party announces Dr. DRL Nonglait as Shillong MP by-election candidate. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma meets traditional heads and community leaders in Nongpo, assures focus on development priorities. Meghalaya government shares reservation policy report with political parties. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails first anniversary of Operation Sindoor, reaffirms India's resolve against terrorism. The news in detail. First, the local news. National President of the National People's Party, Conrad Sangma, today formally welcomed Dr. DRL Nonglait into the NPP during a program held at U Sosotham Auditorium in Shillong. Addressing party members and leaders, Sangma said the party's state committee had recommended Dr. Nonglait as the candidate for the upcoming Shillong MP by-election. The proposal was then placed before the gathering for approval. Following unanimous support from party members, the state president and the general committee, Conrad Sangma officially announced Dr. DRL Nonglait as the National People's Party candidate for the forthcoming Shillong MP by-election.
I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the party to welcome Dr. Nonglait to the National People's Party family. Let's give a round of applause. With the approval of the General Committee that has come from different constitutions and with the approval from our State President and the entire committee, I would like to now officially announce Dr. Nonglait as the official candidate of the National People's Party for the upcoming Lok Sabha by-election. Thank you very much.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma yesterday met traditional heads and community leaders during a program organized by the Sinjuk Kirang Bashnong Ri-Bhoi in Nongpo. The meeting focused on grassroots governance and development issues, including demands for a government college, better power supply, healthcare services, and support for rural and border areas. The Chief Minister assured that the proposal for a government college in Nongpo would be examined and said the 132 kV substation in the area is nearing completion. He also announced Rs 50 lakhs for construction of an office for the Sinjuk and reaffirmed the government's commitment to inclusive development and strengthening local institutions.
Let me assure you that we will continue this bond. We will continue to work together. We may be in different positions. We may be in different posts. But our goal is the same. Our mission is the same, which is to serve the people of our state and to be able to make a difference in their lives. All the different points that you have mentioned today, I have tried to respond to some of them earlier in the CM Connect program and the interaction we had. There was one important program that was discussed in my office last time, which was regarding the office of the Census of Ri-Bhoi, which was again mentioned in the memorandum today. We didn't get a chance to discuss about it, but maybe this is the right time for me to reply to that. And I'm happy to inform all of you that Honorable Deputy CM and myself have decided together that we will be sanctioning 50 lakhs for the construction of this office for the Institute of Bashnong Ri-Bhoi. I know it's not enough. But this is a contribution from our side.
PHE Minister Marcus and Marak on Wednesday held an interaction with the Khasi Jaintia government contractors and supply association in Shillong, where concerns over pending payments under the Jal Jeevan mission were raised. During the meeting, the association highlighted delays in the clearance of JJM bills and pointed out the operational challenges being faced by contractors due to the backlog. Responding to the concerns, the minister said the government acknowledged the difficulties and pressures faced by contractors and termed the matter a serious concern. He added that the state government is actively pursuing the issue with the central government to ensure the early release of funds.
Earlier, Government of India has put so many criteria that you fulfill these criteria, then payment will be given to you. But after completing all the criteria, now so many issues started coming back again. Like Jal Ankalan is a kind of a social audit which have to be project-wise ID has to be created, and then it is if it is not functional, the reason thereof, and then if it is functioning very good. So therefore, these are the issues which Government of India has put in. And then other one was operation and maintenance. Operation and maintenance part also we have already completed, and Government of Meghalaya has already notified. But now we are stuck up with the 15 Finance Commission tied fund, which was given to the district councils. So now district councils were not given any utilization certificate to the Government of India. Now Government of India is putting a condition that you submit this utilization certificate to the Government of India, then we will start releasing the JJM fund.
The Education Department yesterday held a meeting with stakeholders on the proposed Centralized Provident Fund Scheme 2026 for aided school and college employees in Meghalaya. Teacher associations raised concerns over legal issues, regional representation, and the need for wider consultations before implementation. The department said further meetings will be held to ensure inclusive participation, while awareness programs on the scheme will also be organized statewide. Retired teachers and lecturers will be allowed 100% withdrawal of CPF funds subject to verification. Commissioner and Secretary for Education, Vijay Kumar Mantri, said the government is adopting a consultative approach, adding that full implementation will depend on the outcome of the case pending before the High Court of Meghalaya.
I think one of the MCTA major concern is that tomorrow there is a High Court hearing is there, and they want to based on the High Court outcome of whatever case is there. So since it's sub judice, MCTA do not want to have a discussion here. That's very much appreciable. And then the second point is that the other association, KJDSTA, this association major concern is that sir, we also have our friends in Garo Hills, and then they also should be invited, and we should give time to them also. So we have decided that we are going to have another meeting, round-up meeting, maybe 19th or 20th. We are going to issue a meeting notice to all of them, and then we want to take. There are other associations from Jaintia Hills, and there are many other associations which involves in Dixit teachers and lecturers. We'll invite all of them and see that we will listen to their concerns. See, there was a draft scheme which was submitted by the department perhaps in 2023 to the High Court, and this scheme has a different context. So right now the scheme that we have notified is based on the approval of cabinet. So we will see both are submitted. I think this new scheme has been submitted to the High Court. It's based on before High Court and then up to High Court to take a final call.
The Meghalaya government on Wednesday shared key findings of the expert committee report on the state reservation policy with political parties. Commissioner and Secretary Cyril V. Darlong Dingdo said the report, comprising 21 volumes and nearly 4,000 pages, was earlier tabled in the Assembly following assurances by Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma for wider consultations. The government highlighted major findings, recommendations and legal and constitutional aspects during the meeting, while copies of the report were distributed to political parties. Most parties welcomed the consultative approach, with a general consensus emerging to maintain the status quo. Political parties have now been asked to study the report and submit suggestions, if any.
Policy. Today we had presented the main findings of the committee on the reservation policy to all the political parties. And Honorable CM has also directed us to give all these political parties a copy of this report. As you know, it's a voluminous report, 21 volumes, almost 4,000 pages. So the findings and the main recommendations of the committee were presented to the political parties, and we had a discussion on the same. The majority of the political parties looked at the presentation, and there was no major disagreement with what the committee has found in the report. I don't want to go into the details of the report. It's a very lengthy report, but the recommendations are there. I think it's already been shared with the press. All of you know the recommendations. All the political parties attended, except one. So I don't think there is a need for any other meeting. Some political parties may also give further suggestions after they go through the report. So we have requested them to go through the report in detail. It's a voluminous report. We have presented, obviously, in 1 hour time. You can present any of the main issues, the legal position, the constitutional position, since a lot of the issues dealt with a constitutional law issue or the legal issue. And these were presented to the political parties, and all of them greatly appreciated the fact that the government had called them, and we had made this presentation to the political parties.
The Mamlo Chera Cements Employees Union has expressed concern over the delay in release of the third installment due to employees of Mamlo Chera Cements Limited. Addressing the media, MCCEU President Pinskem Lingdo said the matter has been raised with local representatives and Chief Minister, urging immediate release of the funds. The union also appealed for pending salaries of contractual workers and trainees, many of whom have been serving since 2008. Lingdo said earlier installments had helped several employees start small businesses and urged the government to expedite release of pending dues.
Dia kata pada pihak pula bagi air pada mulai masuk ke taruh belum wanita yang berkenai itu yang terakhir ini yang pula hendak kami menghormati jadi lebih berdebat pulai bahwa pun para pelajar ini jelas sama yang menjong kerja kepada pulai berdebat kata yang lalu yang jadi yang kayak gitu ya boleh kata ya dalam persiapan yang Kalau kita lebih kedua ini, overnight, kamu sebenarnya kan saya tadi di yang persiapan kita tahu posisi di kata-kata di para menteri di sini buat nilai akhir selima juga mulai tadi ke para menteri di kalau ubah hilapan atau film hilang cuma sekolah kaya kata-kata yang Malaysia juga jadi nom yang ada di negeri lewat dari bagi kontraktual di trainees di jadi kalau ini mulai terima dan kecil perhati bahwa dari bentar jom ni para menteri kan ini terusnya.
The Jaintia Students Movement Education Cell has urged Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma and Education Minister Lakman Ri-Bhoi to establish a CUET undergraduate examination centre in Jaintia Hills from 2026 onwards. The organisation said students currently travel to Shillong, Ri-Bhoi, Tura and parts of Assam for the exam, causing financial hardship for many rural students. The GSM has requested the government to take up the matter with the National Testing Agency and notify Jowai or Khlieriat as a CUET centre. It also sought a one-time exemption from CUET scores for admissions in 2026-27 if the centre is not operational, warning of democratic agitation if the issue is not addressed by May 11.
Kaya kadaw bakundong ini kum kerja ban mi seprang akabai day bat kini CUET or isnyo to ba ni klem persa ke CUET Henry nitip ba don kampat ya ke government ke jingi trelang bat ke NTA ban set of it away ke exam center CUET ban don hapo Jaintia Namar ba nitip kandai persen ki kena pulih na po Jaintia kidai ki bawan na kalong yang bedu. Dadaki haban tang ban suto ya kini exam si UIT ban lek seduk seslong Asam Tura kalong kecingta kabakrau ya kisam la pulih na po Jaintia. Sakawero nitip ba ya kini exam kisdang ban tho na duk kandai beje untuk ladaki kena ban mi na po Jaintia ladon ke traffic jam kelempep kindo ban apiar ya kini exam ladaki samla pule kimla ban apiar kini exam kimla ban continue show ya ka pule buti joki bayde bat kini ka FYUP course.
The Office of the District Rural Development Agency, in collaboration with the SRES District Implementation Division under the Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, has distributed 37 auto three-wheeler waste collection e-vehicles to villages in Ri-Bhoi district. The beneficiary villages include 27 village clusters under Umling block and 10 village clusters under Jirang block. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma inaugurated and handed over the vehicles yesterday at Nongpo in the presence of Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong, ministers, local MLAs and district officials. The initiative aims to strengthen waste management and sanitation services in rural areas under the Swachh Bharat Gramin scheme. A 3-day training program for enumerators and supervisors for the Census of India 2027 concluded yesterday at the Amlarem CNRD block in West Jaintia Hills. The program, attended by 120 participants, was organized as part of preparations for the upcoming census operations. In his address, Cabinet Minister Lakman Ri-Bhoi said the 2027 census will use digital technology and online monitoring systems for data collection and verification. He said accurate census data is vital for planning government schemes and infrastructure projects, adding that villages included before 31st December 2025 will be covered in the exercise. The training covered self-enumeration, digital data entry, verification procedures and coordination with village authorities.
Hari kami kan sawan saka SIR, hari kata kan sawan saka election MP election nanti show tambah kare ke responsibility kejoni ba gini ya kan tengah tu ini berterbaru di bon na pi election ni pramarjan ni desnubha kia yang kan tentu nama diberi yang ini tentang wala bilang aikan keduan nama bilang ba what ai census ini tu kau nilai ayu tapi anda laju ingro orang basnom itu yang ini dibaduk kumne nak orang basnom.
The Meghalaya Basin Management Agency today organized the District Mukti Stakeholder Platform Sustainable Land Management Project program in Eastern West Khasi Hills District to promote awareness on sustainable and organic farming practices. The program was attended by village headmen, farmers, self-help groups and community organizations. MBMA District Project Manager E. Nongrang highlighted the need to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides and encouraged farmers to adopt organic cultivation methods.
Census Bawa kita bakal kan buat bah ibang gagka. Dari bagdam ngamen tu pikiran basno.
A voluntary blood donation camp was organized yesterday at the College of Postgraduate Studies in Agricultural Sciences in Umyam in collaboration with the Regional Blood Center Pasture Institute, Shillong. The program was organized to create awareness on the importance of voluntary blood donation and encourage people, especially students and staff members, to contribute towards saving lives through regular blood donation initiatives. Now for the regional news. Khaidam Jennifer's indefinite hunger strike entered its 5th day today over the demand for a probe into the killing of 2 children at Trang Laubi in Manipur. Jennifer has been on a hunger strike since 3rd March 2023, seeking justice for victims of alleged narco-terror-related violence that reportedly caused deaths, injuries, disappearances and displacement. Speaking during the protests, she expressed disappointment over the lack of government response and said justice has not been delivered to affected families even after 3 years. She added that the hunger strike will continue until proper action is taken and justice is ensured for all victims.
गया वाला साल जो 2023 में 3 तारीख से ये नार्को टेररिस्ट लोग ने हम लोग के ऊपर में जो अटैक किया है, ये एक गांव पूरा जला के उधर से सब मैते मुल्कों को भगाया उधर से। इसके लिए जितना भी हम लोग 2023 मई का 3 तारीख से जितना भी घायल हुआ है, मर गया है, अभी तक लापता है और आईडीपी जो बेघर होके आया है, इन लोग के लिए इंसाफ मांग रहा है। अभी तक 2026 मई 3 तारीख तक जो घटा है, ये सब घटना का जो हम लोग इंसाफ मांग रहे हैं। वी वांट जस्टिस फॉर मणिपुर, वी वांट जस्टिस, दैट्स ऑल। अनटिल एंड अनलेस अभी तक में जो अभी भूख हड़ताल कर रहा है, जब तक इंसाफ नहीं देगा तब तक मेरा सांस से, मेरा शरीर से जितना भी सांस चल रहा है, जब खत्म होगा तब मेरा भूख हड़ताल खत्म होगा।
Let's now take a look at the top national story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reaffirmed India's resolve to defeat terrorism and dismantle its supporting ecosystem. In a social media post marking 1 year of Operation Sindoor, Modi praised the Indian Armed Forces for their courage, precision and determination, saying they gave a fitting response to those responsible for the Pahalgam attack. He said the operation reflected India's strong stand against terrorism and highlighted the professionalism, preparedness and coordinated strength of the armed forces. The Prime Minister added that the success of Operation Sindoor stands as an example of the bravery, patriotism and sacrifice of India's soldiers. And in sports, the district-level inter-school athletics meet 2026 organised by the Office of the District Sports Officer, Southwest Garo Hills, was held yesterday at the Ampati Students' Field. Students from various schools across the district participated in different track and field events, showcasing their talent, discipline and sportsmanship. Officials from the district sports office, teachers, coaches and sports enthusiasts were also present to encourage the young athletes. The athletics meet was organized to promote sports culture among schools. The third Census Dakar Football Tournament 2026 began today at Tailang Pawa Playground in Dikhia West under the theme Say No to Drugs, Say Yes to Sports. Organized by Sports Census Dakar in collaboration with Yes Meghalaya, the three-day event features 8 participating teams. The opening ceremony featured a cultural dance performance, ribbon cutting by Cornelia Dakar, wife of Clay Riyadh MLA, and a tribute to former Census Dakar leaders. Dakar stressed the role of sports in promoting healthy lifestyles and keeping youth away from drugs while encouraging players to uphold sportsmanship. Now for the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report for Tura. Minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius were recorded today. Relative humidity is 71% and rainfall 1.1 millimeter. Moving on to Shillong, minimum temperature 15 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 23 degrees Celsius, relative humidity of 74% and rainfall of 9.2 millimeters were recorded today. Meanwhile, in Jowai, 15 degrees Celsius of minimum temperature, 23 degrees Celsius of maximum temperature. The relative humidity is 71% and rainfall 2.2 millimeters were recorded. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says moderate rain with thunderstorm likely to occur at many places. Before winding up this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. National People's Party announces Dr. D.R.L. Nonglait as Shillong MP by-election candidate. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma meets traditional heads and community leaders in Nongpo, assures focus on development priorities. Meghalaya government shares reservation policy report with political parties. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails first anniversary of Operation Sindoor, reaffirms India's resolve against terrorism. That's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Thank you for watching.